I come to my little spot just outside Pachinki. Normally people don't land here, but sometimes they do, so the first house you should go into is this one. It's the biggest, it has the most loot. So if you do have to fight someone, hopefully you'll be in a better position than they are. If you're going to be dirty and you're going to camp the top of the stairs, just waiting for them to come, make sure the barrel of your gun gets over the top step. You don't want your first few shots just going into the top of the stairs. Check out this guy. Ooh, you lucky. Number one is still alive, even after 5 minutes. That's a good sign. My random teammates, they often don't live this long. And he's been shooting people, so I decided to go and meet up with him. I'm about to do the very worst thing you could ever do in Pachinki. I'm going to walk down the middle of the main road just to check a box. I really need a scope. Number one is covering me, so it's not that bad. I didn't find a scope though. I find a Kar 98 here. I'm not going to use it, but I know how popular this gun is. I know a lot of people would like to use it. So I tell number one, Kar 98 here. My autocorrect changed it to Karate 98, but he still knew what I meant. It's a small detail, but it really is better to work together with your teammates. Helping them helps the team, this helps you. And I know he can play, so he's not just going to drag me down. I think this guy's just a bot. Number one has come to look for the Kar 98. I show him it's over here. He returns the favour by giving me a 4x scope, which I really needed. Now we're both in a better position. I know I can rely on him. I know I can play with this guy. He's okay, number one.
Enemies ahead!
Again, it's a small detail, but a little bit of communication, it really helps. It just helps to know what the other person is doing, what they're thinking, what they're seeing. Half the time, when I'm playing with random teammates, I have absolutely no idea what they're doing or why they're doing it. Not the case with number one. He's a good team player. Before I came up here, he told me that he'd spotted some people. Enemies ahead. so I already know what's happening. In these earlier circles, you should always be worried about people coming out of the blue. We get some good loot from these boxes, but I was really pushing it for time. This is too close. Number 1 is more cautious. He's making the right move. He's leaving earlier. I'm leaving it too late. I'm right on the edge of the blue line. There's only 15 seconds, and there's a long way to the circle. I should have left before this. I see this car and think, oh, yeah, good. I need this car. And then what happens? Ah, Jesus. No petrol. Now I really am in trouble. I've got to run for my life. Luckily for me, number 1 was far more cautious, and he'd cleared the path in front of us, so it's less of a problem. This is where number 1 saves me. He's in the exact same position I am. He's short on time. We have to get to the circle. He gets a bike, and instead of just heading into the circle, he comes back to get me. He risks his own game just to help me. And if he didn't pick me up, look how close this is. Would have never made it. Again, he makes a smart move. He goes over the wall before healing. He's covered. He's protected. I'm a little bit open. Not a good decision. He made a better decision there. If he didn't come and pick me up though, I'd already be dead. So it's only thanks to him I'm still alive in this game. Number 1 is a good team player. Better than the average randoms. Okay, last few circles, top 10. This is when the spidey senses start tingling. Another good move by number 1. He goes onto the top floor of the house so we can see out over the circle. I'm covered, but I don't know where anything is. Again, he clears the path. This is the time for extreme caution. This is where the real game begins, I feel. This is where it becomes a bit chess-like. You want to be on the edge of the circle, coming in late. Number 1 spots a guy, but I don't see him until he dies. But then I spot another guy over there. Number 1 didn't see him. Working together, it really pays off. Either of us could have been killed by either one of those 2 players. It really is better to work together, as long as you're playing with a real team player. Then that's perfect, ideal situation. If you're with a bad player, or just a bad team player, you're probably better off on your own. But number 1, he's alright. So now it's 2-on-2. We've got a good chance. We're a good team. Remember, you should always be fully boosted in the last few circles. Oh no. Now I'm on my own. Number 1 apologises to me now because he got killed. He says sorry. That's a sign of a real team player. Of course, because the last circle's in an open field, everyone's playing the snake game. This is why Bushka never plays third person perspective anymore. He only plays first person perspective because you can't play the snakes at the end of that match. It's a dirty business, but you've got to do what you've got to do. You do whatever you have to win. I crawl up to this rock and I wait for the next circle shift. When snaking, I think you should move as little as possible and you should try to stay next to some hard cover if you can. So now I've got to move. So I only move when I have to move. And then where do you go? Okay, this tree here is the only bit of hard cover around, so you have to go there. And I assume this guy is going to be doing the same thing, so he's probably going to be at one of these trees. That's where I'd be. There he is. I see him. He's over there. Oh shit. Nothing. Oh, I've just given away my position. Oh, I see him though. Our team won. Number 1 was killed earlier, but I was still alive. But I was only here because he saved me earlier. So that victory, it really is a team effort. Alone, neither of us would have won that game. Together, we take it. Jonyaosan is a good player and a good team player in my book. The best combination you can have, I think. So thanks, number 1. Good game.